is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
I would have gone on earlier, but it took forever for the stupid game to connect. So let's just go ahead and bring it in here. And get right on it here. Get that off here. All right. Something I noticed with the let's get right. Yeah, they finally got Converse high tops in the shop. Yeah, they got black hat. Okay, let's get on down here. Whatever. Okay. I don't think I want to know. Okay. The victory dances. Okay. Master Chief. Yeah, I think the only thing that I have no need for this. Okay, he's got the power sword. That's the pickaxe you should have had in the first place. That one day maybe, and the Warthog. Yeah, that could work. So we got Iron Man, the big bundle, Iron Spider, no care for, Black Cat, already got her. Then we got these guys. Ah. I feel like a person in the locker somewhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That'd be a fun little, some decent victory bits. Yeah. Interesting. And then we got these guys. And Beavis and Butthead still hanging in there. I was afraid of that. First, I'd go for the red ones. But, okay, so now that we know that they're in the thing, they're a shop item, so they'll be back. The Doom bundle in, Jacob's Locker bundle. That's what I don't know. And the Power Rangers are back. Okay. Those who didn't get it last time, hey, you better get on here. They'll line up with getting the Green Ranger and the White Ranger and the Power and the Dragon Sword. Nah. Whatever. Yeah, instead of just the emote and get the entire song. The video, in the concert, he gets on the drums and even the band crank out AC/DC. Shook me all night long. Okay, Smith, I'm getting sick of that shit. I'm also getting a little tired of seeing this bomb away. Some Gorillas and Taco Bell. Yeah. Well, apparently, the Back to the Future DeLorean is coming. That should be fun. Okay, what all's in this bundle? That's it? What the hell? Come on, someone else there. Oh. One or more than just V-Bucks. What the hell? What? I'm pretty sure I don't have that guy. Anyway. All right, so let's get back here. So, quest-wise. All right, so weapons, limited players, damage, and assault, and outlets. All right. And this for other ones. Weeklies. Using a Cinder and a Zip on the same match. That's okay. Call on precision airstrike. Reach max ammo any time. Eliminate players while in a vehicle. That's me done. Search chest. Okay, so 15 chests. I think they've changed this a little bit. Okay, finally got it. Destroy swarm and nest. They're not the swarm. Okay. Yeah, they changed it again here. So. So 7 eliminations gets that one notched up. And 5, thanking the driver. Okay, let's just get out of this. I guess that, part of the last update. So, let's see, anybody on here that I could... No, but I feel comfortable getting on there. So just leave that alone. If they come asking, fine, but I'm not going to go back to Oh, I saw the 10 levels. I'm not going to try ranked. Even though actually I'm ranked I'm so low in ranked right now, I probably could knock up a couple, but I don't want to mess with it right now. People are idiots in there. Yeah, this one, it's like, 10 levels on any, or 2 reload matches. Again, reloads, the people are insane. It's just a sweat lodge. Okay, what's with them? Okay, that's different. Alright, we clean up around here. The folks from Clutter Truckers will be back on Monday. Meanwhile, I got a little bit of work done here. But really, in here, that's all that's left. I just got to just clear the path of my doing. That's right through there. The thing is, man, if it's an emergency exit situation, I can get out the window and there's a passing. If that window was slightly, but maybe the check. I never have looked at that. Really. All the time I've been here, the shades went down. Like no one's looking in here. Especially considering it's like when the heat's out of the control and it's like I'm not going anywhere. Why get dressed? I spend most of the day naked. Okay. And nobody wants to see that anyway, okay? I am well past my sell-by date on that score. If I ever really was there anyway. I think I started going to pot sometime after junior high. Okay. Well, no, wait a minute. No, I had a decent build in the Air Force. I don't know what to. Had my Captain Kirk uniform, and I was at Creation Con. And granted, it's a little bit of assistance from the pants I was wearing. Able to, Okay. Take that. And while I'm at it, I suspect there's a launch pad up there. If not, just. Yes, there is. Okay. Let's just get out of there now. That thing. Sometimes it is useful. It's like ditch the glider. No. We're going here. There we go. Let me out of the boat. Come on, there we go. Go. A little red X up there. I mean, my signal's not the greatest, so at least this time the excuse for why the game sucks is that it's not me, okay? Or not just me. Actually, that would be. Okay. Vehicle's always good. Weirdo. All right. Okay, this is HQ. Got a chopper. Okay. I think I'll be flying out of here. I need to spend some bucks anyway, so. No shotgun? Come on. Oh, what's that? What's this? Nope. I want that one. And did someone just take the chopper? Nope, not mine. I suspect if I was in Nam and a chopper pilot, I would be dangerous. There we go. Come on. Just enough. It should be fuel. And I didn't destroy the place in the process. It's always a plus. What? Yes, we've also been chronicling the morons online who haven't got a shred of human decency in them. That should be interesting. And actually, yeah, I am including certain individuals who can't even show enough human decency to just keep the political stuff out of the notice. Murder is wrong, even when it's a no telling, hateful hack like for writing it one. Charlie Kirk did not have a hateful bone in his body. White supremacy. No, what he was saying, folks, is that y'all are not slaves anymore. You have no excuse. Okay. There are plenty of black folks that are millionaires. Okay. We have elected a black president twice. Clarence Thomas wasn't the first black Supreme Court justice. Thurgood Marshall was. Okay, it's nothing new here. You have no more fucking excuses. Okay, just stop thinking of yourself as a goddamn victim and avail yourself with a thing. One of the meetups at one of his things was debating some typical white liberal retard college student about white privilege. And they're talking about like no. Now the old thing about how if you have a black name or anything, it's, it makes the language harder about to get something. No, that's not even remotely true. But go on. The thing, his thing, he wanted the discussion, the debate. And things during this thing, a black guy came up. You want to let my lived experience? Well, I don't know, but you're not. And he had a very black sounding name, but he'd get want to tell me how all the internships I've had with people I didn't I ain't gotten shit because the name is intern with some very influential elected officials, and I mean apparently done very well for himself. It's like, but tell me again how my black name hasn't gotten me shit. Actually, wait a minute. Isn't that rifle pretty good? Let's give this a run. Now another one that's like some gal going, I want to make way you keep it. And he just sat back. What? Stop. Well, she didn't know what to do if no one was interrupting her. And everyone because she just would not get to a point. He just said, no, put the microphone down and just sat there looking at her. Like, nothing. And she finally had to give up and leave because she couldn't she had no point. And as they're leading her away, it said, guys, stay away from this type of woman. This. Yeah, not the big half mile used to be, but better than nothing. Where did I leave my chopper? And that's why I think just people just write them off as real white supremacists, hateful. He didn't, That's it. I've seen plenty of us, and he never said a hateful word in his life. And also the fact that he would welcome the debate. They had a thing with Rosetta. It's like, damn it. Damn it. Give me a fucking chance to shoot back, you son of a bitch. All right. Pretty sure I leveled up at least once. But I mean, again, and Rosetta would also even agree that if she had managed to meet, and he would welcome the debate because she disagreed with him on a lot of points. But he always wanted. One of the things I've said for years about certain issues is we never actually had the conversation on fill in the blank. We've been too busy yelling at each other to actually have the honest discussion on what the hell is the problem here. Everyone's too busy sloganeering trying to score points. Let's see this one. Well, I got two of them. All right. Okay. I guess just summon the ranger and becomes your sidekick. Huh. Okay. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, I got one. And we've gotten all the all right. First things first. Get a command decision here. Just to start loading up as the White Ranger. Let's look at this again here. Now let's start off with I'm going to go with this one here. And I'm just going to assign that to all of the Rangers. Different colors. So, Nubby. These really never seem to be in any kind of order. You know? See? And you got all these guys down below. What the hell? Look at that. Color. Close to white. And with that, do a quick run through the others. I think we need a slightly brighter green. There we go. Ranger. Pink Ranger. Never got that changed. Okay. Color. That's green. That's more visible. That's better. I forgot to save it, shithead. Hold on. Dipshit, I'm gonna go back to all you. At least I caught it before I got too far. Now let's go try the Pink Ranger again. The Black Ranger. Didn't change him either. Maybe because I was waiting for this moment. Almost there. Just leaves the Red Ranger. Yeah, the only one I set up was the Pink Ranger. So yeah, I guess I play favorites. Yeah. I like Amy Jo. In fact, she's the only one I remember of that damn thing. But it's also she kicked ass on wow, Flashpoint, Canadian show. Basically about their version of SWAT team. I think I won't forget what they call them. Something different. Dipshit. Yeah, you got to save it, didn't you? Okay. Let's continue. We got a week to get 10 level. We got one level. So we go down a week or so to get 9 more. Thing is, it's an any. It doesn't have to be this. It can be any version, any game on here. I might actually tag along with Raquel next time she does the Lego thing, because you can rack up some points that way. Weird thing is, I really can't wear Converse high tops anymore, regular ones. I do have a pair in there. They're padded for some reason. Weirdest thing. Found at a thrift store, but they're really kind of padded. And those I can wear. Those I can get on there next to. But like I paid one of my pairs of regular Converse. It was agony. I could not wear them at all. I used to wear them all the damn time. Probably was like making up for the fact that I never had them as a kid. But folks, well, granted, yeah, you don't want to spend an arm and a leg in your kids all the damn time. Once in a while, get them some name brand stuff, okay? But also ask them what name brands they're into. Don't necessarily try and go over to what you think they might. Because I always wanted some Levi's, and I got anything but usually. Got a pair of Jordache one time. I didn't want Jordache. Okay? I might have gotten Keds one time. Otherwise, it was usually some store brand knockoff. Or like for jeans. Never got Levi's, but Tough Skins, that was a Sears thing. Shit. Let's redo that. I did tag him. You gotta do something there. Yep, I definitely tagged him. Generally say I have simple tastes, but they are exact. I mean, like when it comes to blue jeans, I prefer, Levi's, Wranglers, standard ones. Okay. Although recent events, I would consider American Eagle. If they make guys jeans, I'm pretty sure they do. If I was a girl, I'd be all over it. Like, will they make my ass look as good as Sydney Sweeney's? Yeah. I mean, I generally figure, part of the whole thing, like, kind of, feeds into why trans thing is such a big, because there's always something in the back of your mind. Most guys, you think, they think about this sort of thing. What if I was a girl? And it gets no further than a thought experiment. But it's like episode of Farscape when everyone's swapping bodies and Crichton winds up in Aaron's body for a bit, and when no one's looking around, looks up, oh yeah, and start exploring things a bit. Just look, I'm a guy. Guys dream of this sort of thing. Okay, But again, usually it doesn't go beyond the thought experiment. Like, what if I, and as such, it's like we can only go, extrapolate from our own experience, which is woefully lacking on that regard. If we're smart, we'll listen to them, try and figure, what they say about what it's like, and But a lot of guys that just pull strictly from their own pathetic experience and what they think it'd be like, without pointing the fact that you're either, no matter what you do, you're putting it through a male filter. It's always with the qualifier that no, we know what it's like to live with the cock and balls down between the legs, most times being totally useless because it's really it's only good for a couple of things: peeing or sex. Otherwise, it's just there, getting hot and sweaty. Pants don't fit right. You can't really sitting can be an adventure sometimes. Especially situations where a lot of times underwear is worn not because of anything particularly, but because you need to keep the kids in line. Which again doesn't really help the sweatiness issue because you're trying to keep everything out loose. Well, then then you get the issue of you occasionally sitting on your balls. That was what I had to experience when I was in the hospital in '94. I spent a large period of time, no underwear, just in the gown. And you're not sitting right, and guess what? You're squashing the boys. And that happened frequently, not for long. It's like immediately, but it's like damage done. And a bit of inside baseball, but there's only one way to check to see if everything's working. And it's not something you can really do when you're being monitored 24/7 by nurses. And being in the ICU for a large part of ruptured appendix. It wasn't just inflamed; it blew. And dummy me waited about a week before going in because oh damn it! Damn it! So I was in there for 35 days, and a good chunk of it was in the ICU because it was apparently the surgery was a bit touch and go. And the result is instead of one little scar down, you got a big one down here and the big one where the drain was. But again, it's like you got cameras on there. You're not closed up. The window curtain, so you can't get out there and make sure the equipment's still working. So I had to wait. All told, about 35 days till I could get home, a little privacy, and access to what materials I had, and check it out. And it's and let's just say, yeah, it confirmed there was damage because it came out orange. I did bruise them, and there was sequestered blood in there, and it's the only way to get it out. You got to take things in your own hands and do it. So then, okay, that's great. So wait a little while and do it again. Okay, we're fine now. Once it's coming out normal color, then you're okay. You confirm that yes, everything is fine. That's usually the extent of when guys have to deal with this sort of thing. It's, sexually speaking, we are very low maintenance. I mean, everything's external. Things don't happen once a month, and things it's just there, ready to go whenever. All right, let's just get it. I don't need the background. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, stop it. What the hell's going on here? Okay, things are connecting up now. Okay, 6 more players. 2 more thanking the bus driver. And outlast another 41 players. And that's or spend another 44 gold bars. It's about 60,000 right there. Oh, that's right. It's moved. 1 more daily. Calvin's most fighting. Collect the legendary better, or collect 1 thing with eliminated players. 4 more chests. I need to get an airstrike first. Man, it's we have no clue what it's like to be a girl. And no, it's not putting on the makeup and the dress and no. When female puberty hits and suddenly you're on your menstrual cycle. And again, that's once a month, like it or not. Your hormones go wacky. And that's like if I can live long enough to have have a daughter, that's going to be like we're going to have a little briefing sometime. Okay, kid, you're getting to the age now. This is going to happen. I don't want you panicking. No, you will not be dying. This is part of what growing up is. We'll be, oh my God, I don't want to. No, we all got to go through one version or another. In the case of girls, it's like, I'm sorry, there's no way around it. But this is what's happening, and this is why it's happening. But this is how we perpetuate the species. So I think we might, and probably just go ahead and have her, start packing, pads along. So when that something happens, she's not like, oh shit, I'm bleeding, I'm dying. No. That magic moment has appeared. It's pain and big pain thing. I'm not going to do that, but that's trying to push out the miracle of womanhood. I know it's a pain in the ass, and now boys are going to be paying attention in the wrong way. Yeah. Oh dear. Now we got a problem. Motherfucker. You little. Who the hell? You asshole. As for sons, I'm not going to give this one. I want a male heir. Doesn't matter, as a guy. The male of any species has one responsibility: protect the female. You do not predate on them. You don't stalk them. Your job is to defend them. It is an ugly, disgusting world. What a predator, and you don't know any better. And don't care. Basically, do my part to return chivalry to the whole thing. That's the thing, but defend and protect the females. Without them, we ain't got a species. Yeah. A big thing driving this whole transgender bullshit thing is misogyny and homophobia. It is conversion therapy written large. It's trying to make women irrelevant and get the gays to eliminate themselves. Kind of eliminate competition, I think. But it's just like being a woman is just a dress, it's a mood, it's a feeling. Then women's rights mean nothing. And that's sort of thing what J.K. Rowling is like. No, that doesn't work. Okay? Like that is 6. Now, whether or not Joe can be made to see sense in other matters, I don't know. But that's one point where we're in full square agreement on that one. Ready? Next there? Up here, maybe? Don't put stuff laying around. Okay, and what's this one? Yeah, I think I'll go with that one. Actually, could have gotten the guys there. That'd have been 30 points right there. In fact, it will be. Nah, I don't bother with that. For that one, I will go with it. And they didn't get over here to do the shit. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. All right. Let's get that guy. I think I did level up. All right. That's something I could have posted earlier. Like I listed, oh, these guys were Trump supporters. Like different shootings. I'm gonna go through that in my video. I think because I'm pretty sure more than a few of those I think would have been debunked. This guy was no Trump supporter. And some of these guys, like the guy who tried to kill Trump. Here's a Republican. Every activity they found elsewhere, this guy was a hardcore libtard. If he was a registered Republican, it was last minute and just to throw, just to muck with everybody's mind. Okay, okay, got all the dailies done. So weeklies. Still got to do something here. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. Let's just mark it there. See what happens. And usually things like one isolated nutcase usually. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have entire cities burning to the ground. Mostly peaceful protests, the guy says, while there's a Wendy's burning behind him. Tim Walz lamenting the fact that no, Donald Trump did not die over the weekend, but it'll happen soon. It's like, he's like 10 years now of being called Nazis and fascists and white supremacists and every name out of the book. All kinds of character assassinations. And now you want this is a time for unity? Fuck you. This is no time for unity. This is time for payback. You guys are sowing the wind. You're about to reap the whirlwind. Mm-hmm. That's not advocating anything. It's a simple fact of life. People have had it. They have finally pushed too far. Charlie Kirk was the nicest guy on the planet. Okay? Man didn't have a hateful bone in his body. He just wanted to talk. And that was his thing. Just going to thing and having the conversation. Debate me, prove it. And he would be willing to, concede point. He would say, okay, good point. But a large part of just proving that these kids don't know what they're talking about. They've been educated very poorly. And getting them to think, Take a step outside their closeted little libtard university world and consider the wider world around him. It's a good thing he didn't go to college. Right? All right, give me a long glide, but okay. That's the thing. He wasn't killed because he was he was killed because he was effective. He was convincing a lot of kids to listen. And they were listening. And some of them were changing their minds and realizing that they've been fed a lot of bullshit. And he was not an extremist. He was as moderate as it comes, really. And then something the Crowders pointed out that, there's a void now. And the ones who are going to fill that void now are not going to be as nice as Charlie was. Alex Jones has already, pledged to start going out there and doing things. And while, a lot of Alex Jones is bluster and stuff, you think he's going to put up with a lot of crap? Also, you think he hadn't, learned a few things about security? Crowder's been doing the same thing for a while. He's like, with the tables, I was like, taking the thing and prove me wrong. And he would, then come up to the table and say, come on, let's talk. Need to be a little more acerbic about it, which makes for a good video. Okay, this is going to be close. Give me that. Shit. All right. That. I need to get that zip line and a sender out of the way. Zip line. Damn it. Line up. Here we go. Sender. As long as I'm over here. Okay, grab it out of here. Up, man. Net. Get this one to get a little boost. There we go. Yeah, let's just get out of here. Okay. Okay. Something out here. Okay. Now we're going to push with it. Okay. I don't think I've been in here. I know I haven't been in here. I do believe this has changed. Okay, we got that one done. Whoa, fucking. No, forget it. Okay, got that done. What? Yeah, fine. Stream is holding up well. I'm actually doing okay in this game. Might actually put in a good showing. Okay, I think someone got it. Okay, I already got that one. Right. No, sort of thing. There's the poor Ukrainian girl, Irina, got killed on the train. It's like she, you could just see that she was terrified. She knew and nobody can be bothered to comfort her as she was dying. They were just, what the hell has happened to our society? Damn it! Shit! Give me that. Motherfucker! Mother cocksucking little shit! Little dickhead. We're sure leveled up there, so. Apparently, this guy who did it, gonna loosen up. Don't let me out. I'll do it again. Van Jones, we don't know why he's going. I got that white girl. I got that white. We have no idea why he did it. You fucking whore. A long list of people in the media be fired over this kind of shit, and he's one of them. Fire his ass, his commie ass. And no, he's a card-carrying member of the Communist Party. Hmm? What? Hold on. God. You deal with my way's craving. Okay, I guess I didn't level up just yet. More closer. Not far though. What do I want to get next here? I think we'll go with the pickaxe next. Meanwhile, I got a second here. I tell you what, I'm gonna put up a video real quick here just to break things up. Hopefully something to keep everyone entertained while I'm not doing my thing here. The hell, come on. There we go. Another we can archive. I need to rearrange the archive thing. Let's see. Again, I don't want to go through on this serious stuff. I'm definitely not playing any indie videos on this. I don't like doing that on here in this. And that's something about John D.F. Black. This should open a few eyes. Okay, yeah, we're gonna throw one more delaying thing before I actually start tackling JJ on the wrist. Let's look insight into the production of the original show. And some of this carried over to next gen, but largely it was mostly an original show because they're still trying to set things up. And has to do in the example of John D.F. Black and his origin coming on as associate producer and script editor, story editor. He was hired early on. It was started in March of '66. He started in. He was hired along with Harlan Ellison was given his assignment for City that you've heard about at the same time. And the thing, his job was to work with the writers and make whip these things into shape so they can make usable scripts out of them. And the main example is the episode "The Naked Time." Now, this one went through a very bizarre history here because it's there was kind of things were not handled right originally because his first draft in his mind was really a preliminary draft. It wasn't really a first draft, but Roddenberry saw it as a first draft and then went off with it. And at some point it was tacked on to a cliffhanger ending where the Enterprise is going through a time warp, but where's it going to wind up? Tune in next week. That was reworked, obviously. The standard legend was that it was going to lead into Tomorrow's Yesterday. And it's easy to see where the conclusion is, but the problem is the timeline doesn't line up. Because of when Dorothy Fontana got assigned and when these things happen, it's just nothing matches up with this being possible. And the cliffhanger idea wasn't even originally in the original pitch. It was kind of a late addition. And then about a month and a half later, they had to go back and redo, delete it, and work around the existing footage, mainly just do some pickup shots, mainly with just Kirk and Spock on the bridge. Explain what we have 3 days to live over again, not those last 3 days, and eliminate the thing of, well, let's see when we end up. I just get rid of all the extraneous stuff. So there's still there may be some deleted scenes out there to be found yet of the original ending. But it was about when they were wrapping up Dagger of the Mind. And then came, okay, yeah, we got to do a couple of pickup shots. We were doing the ending of that one we did a couple months ago. Which means that the last bits were Vince McEvedy directed instead of Mark Daniels, who did the bulk of Naked Time. But it's a combination of things that kind of pointed out of why sometimes Roddenberry was justified in going in and rewriting scripts over the weekend. Because instead of giving the guy notes and stuff, this was very close to when they needed to be, because the first draft, you wanted like at least a week, and he was like really cutting it close there. And just, we ain't got time, in Roddenberry's opinion, we got so much stuff going on. I ain't got time to negotiate with writers about rewriting their work. That ain't that precious, okay? Just take the thing himself, do it, And of course, John D. Black was a very esteemed writer at that point. He won a Writers Guild Award for an episode of Mr. Novak that he'd done earlier in '66. He was very reluctant to rewrite other writers' work. He did that they was to work with the writers and have them rewrite itself. But I think it was felt like Roddenberry, I think, is like he's working on his own script and he hasn't got time to do the other stuff, or he's doing this stuff and not having time to work on his own script. It's like maybe a combination thereof. And Roddenberry's opinion, I know this show, but it's my show. I know better than any of those other guys. I'm going to just do it myself and be done with it. And again, he rewrote everybody, but you don't see his writing credits very often on the show. He's in his role as the producer, so he's just doing himself and be done with it. So that's the case. So he's not really stealing credit. He's just rewriting other writers to make it fit better with his vision of the show, which is really, kind of his prerogative as the creator and executive and producer. He could have done it, a little more diplomatically, but, and again, the way these things were contracted, especially with regard to that one story, like things were not quite handled right. So it's like, yeah, it may be a little sleazy, but Roddenberry was perfectly within the rules the way he did it. And probably the same thing with a lot of other scripts he did too. But it was also that moment that John D. Black decided, I'm not working here any longer. In fact, on the day his contract expired, him and then his secretary, later wife, Mary, they popped champagne corks. I'm no longer working for Gene Roddenberry. But it's like originally it was like, where are they going to wind up? End of part 1. That got snipped eventually because it's like there doesn't appear to be any kind of paper trail for who was going to write part 2. There's nothing in John D. Black's thing that that indicate there was no assignment. It was like, and they were having problems just getting stuff made anyway. And when these things aired, it wasn't entirely up to the production. Okay, if it was, the Cobra Maneuver would have aired first. But things happened. It's like they wound up. He only had like 5 episodes. But by the time September loomed large, you only had like 5 episodes ready to go. None of them were the ones you wanted. That'd go for it. And that's why the Man Trap went first, because it was the closest thing you had that would serve as a halfway decent series premiere. Because the other ones that were there, Enemy Within, that's kind of creepy. You're portraying your lead character as a sex offender. It's like, that's not a way to lead off. The Naked Time. It's like you have to know these characters better before you appreciate what they're going through. Charlie X was a teen angst thing and kind of weird. Mudswoman, it's mail order bride thing, and I think that maybe when you want it with the Man Trap, it's like, well, it's the closest thing we got. You got a monster, menacing the crew. Let's go with it. But it's like, the general legend was that the follow-up to the Naked Time was going to be Tomorrow's Yesterday. That's where we find out where that space warp winds up. Well, again, the timeline doesn't line up. Because when Dorothy was assigned that, Dorothy Fontana, when she was assigned that script, that doesn't line up with the time for there. And there's no way that it was later in the season. There's no way they could have gotten that done in time to line up with the Naked Time. And there's also a memo where Bob Justman put out something with like way off the thing. It's like, and he kind of whining later, hey, shouldn't I be getting some credit? A tongue-in-cheek memo, which is typical Bob Justman thing, where it's like, if he maybe he should get some credit for like all our yesterdays or tomorrow's yesterday. I'd like to know about this thing, or I might have to sell this thing to Time Tunnel. And again, it was like this had already been set. So he's joking, obviously. But it's like part of the thing in trying to unravel some of the stories that have cropped up over the years and gotten taken off in lives of their own. It's like, not necessarily the case. There's a lack of documentation. A lot of this was probably just verbally said in the office, and egos were bruised accordingly. But it's like nobody bothered to write some of this stuff down. They were too busy trying to make the show. And what we got, it's like all we really know is that Simon was made. And the thing is, John D.F. Black was not exclusive to Star Trek and Desley. He had a episode of Run for Your Life that was about that same time. And there was something about a movie, but there's no real thing that even got made, so, or it was delayed so long it took long, the year and after. But like for whatever reason, John D.F. Black was not delivering the way. There was also a dispute on his contributions to what wound up as the Menagerie. But even that wasn't really handled properly, and therefore the grievance of the Writers Guild went nowhere. The Desley offered a settlement, he refused. And there's a memo from Roddenberry that, look, he didn't do the job. He's doing $1,000 a week, and he didn't do the job he was supposed to be doing. It's like, I had to do it. So what's he want to be paid for about something that wasn't even really his? So that didn't end well. It's remarkable that he was willing to speak for the extras on the original DVD set for the original series. Because I think in later years you realize, it sucked. It was a pain. He was an asshole, but in the end run, he was right. It's his show. It has to follow his vision. So it's like, kind of look at how the sausage was made. It ain't pretty. We don't necessarily have the recipe. But we know a little bit of the process, and it was ugly. And feelings got hurt. And unfortunately, all the particulars who knew what was going on are no longer around. And whether or not Dorothy saw, because she was still pretty much working as Gene's secretary, so she saw everything, including her office memos. So whether or not she saw Justman's idea about the Enterprise going back to Earth for something other and something weird happening or not, it's like she very well has saw it, but just the idea gets fogged, and when it's time to do a script of her own, she forgot where she maybe realized she heard him somewhere else. It was just rattling around back of her head. It's a very hectic thing. It's like I said, going back to why Gene Coon and all that. By the end of the second, Gene Coon's brought in fairly later on here. It's because Steve Carbatos they brought in as producers of our story, but they started working around and eventually settled on Gene Coon about halfway through the first season, and made it to most of the second season before he basically on the verge of a nervous breakdown, really, because of one of the other episode, the last one it did that covers that. But it's like all this stuff, and I know and that was always happening at the time. That Gulf Western was smashing Paramount and Desilu in one big conglomerate, and putting their nose in. When it's like these people have no freaking clue. It's like forget it. I'm out. I'm ready to blow up anyway. I'm out. It's like Roddenberry was exhausted. Bob Justman was exhausted, and Gene Coon was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Well, and all said and done. This is a very demanding show from the get-go. It's like because Roddenberry's with the back-breaking hours. The dude, it was shooting like 6-7 days to shoot an episode. You know? Whereas typical ones, maybe. Well, Mission Impossible had a similar problem. They had lost a story editor guy couple of guys they were the scripts. They would alternate. They were gone. Well, we have no strips now. They had to cobble together stuff for what they had, and the minor miracle they made it to the first year. So it wasn't necessarily unique to Star Trek, but it was certainly a problem with Star Trek because, again, we're talking major production issues here. And again, in that situation, you didn't necessarily have the opportunity to write everything down. So things may still surface. You never know. But for now, it's like, no, Tomorrow Was Yesterday was not going to be the sequel to The Naked Time. It's easy to see that looking back on it with just all you have is the episodes. And with the scant knowledge that, Tomorrow Was Yesterday, The Naked Time did end on a cliffhanger, and the only other time travel thing to that point was Tomorrow Was Yesterday. So, they link up. They could have. That wasn't the plan, though. That's just how it worked out. And if there had been more coordination about it, it's like, I think I saw something, but Dorothy Fontana said that, that was the idea, but it didn't work out because of production shit. But who knows how much, because this was years after it, if it's what she heard or whatever. But I hope that would be a little insight. It's like, this was a messy process. And while, again, Roddenberry could have handled it better, he wasn't necessarily wrong. So, I think on that, we'll talk at you later. Oh, nothing much good. Okay, yeah, just to post a link to X to see if anybody wants to come in and chat while we're doing this. In the meantime, check if it's got any likes on some of my posts. But idiots don't have any idea what the fan they're fanning by being idiots. The country has undergone a seismic shift over this thing because it's like even if Charlie Kirk was to want to be a Nazi, they would say that like, you don't shoot you don't kill a person because of a different opinion. But when people start taking away, and this whole thing has just amplified his voice that much further because his X account is still active, and they're reposting a lot of his stuff. And you can bring in the Obi-Wan line, and then Charlie would, because he does a Star Wars thing. He thought the first movie was the best one. They'd strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine, and they've done that. By trying to shut him up, they've only made his voice stronger. This is international news. Before, I mean, even my wife didn't really know who Charlie Kirk was. And we follow a lot of this stuff now. And now everyone knows him. And his stuff is out there and seen. It's like they killed him for this. The guy's as threatening as a fart in a windstorm. And they killed him for this. And it's just going to make it like, that's it. We're done. We've let you maniacs run roughshod over civilization for long enough. You're done. It's like Gutfeld said, you thought you're going to shut this down. All you've done is woke us the fuck up. And to an extent, credit to Fox News. They didn't bleep that F-bomb. You let that fly. No, the rifle. Rifle. That. I might need to spend some more gold. Come on. Oh, okay. Whoa! Fucking A. Bitch. Just start this up again. I don't think you'll necessarily see any right-wing, violence in the sense of, guys going out and shooting up a McDonald's, something like that, any more than normal. Because again, both sides have their lunatics. Difference is because mainstream them and put them in charge. What I do think you're going to see is payback. People aren't just going to let them, let these guys, do a thing. There'll be responses. Protesters try blocking the road. I think you see a lot more people just drive right on through. You get run over, it's your own dumb fucking fault. Or like what happened in Idaho. They were holding a candlelight vigil for Charlie. And some idiot decided to show up and say, oh, and he got his ass kicked. So what we are going to see is a whole lot of, we're not playing this shit anymore. Your retard's going to be treated like the retard you are. Okay? We're going to be taking, it's like shutting you the hell up. Yeah. We're going to give you the spanking your parents didn't give you. Yeah. That's what it's going to amount to. Like, people, they went through life and told you everything you want to do, and then someone's like, and that's it. You're about to get the ass whooping you should have gotten when you were 5. Yeah. Damn it. Too congested and the fucking shotgun is too slow. I'll tell you, my attitude towards, spanking and kids, it's starting to go through a, changing. I mean, I appreciate, Dr. Phil's books that there are better ways to discipline a child than physical assault. But I think sometimes that assumes a level of rationality in a child that's not there. I think if we're talking under 5, they don't understand, that concept of, personal currency. Take away something that's important to them, and they'll be, yeah, that's fine if you're like 12. If you can that's a part of it is learning to negotiate and what is important to you. Is it important enough for you to behave yourself and start acting like a civilized human being instead of an overgrown brat? But like 5, 6 years old, they don't have the concept yet. Okay, so I think that's the case where swat on the ass gets your attention. Now again, I do agree with things like 1 is usually do it, 2, 3 is for you. You go beyond 2, and it's like, no, now it's vengeance now. It's like, no, you don't do that with a kid. You don't start working your frustrations out on the child like that. That's what abuse leads to. Usually with a little kid, like 5, 6 years old, a swat on the ass is usually enough because it's not so much the pain. Because half the time with the toddlers, like 2 or 3 years old, they're still wearing diapers. They're not feeling much. It's the idea that mom or dad just hit me. That's the shock value. And that's like, oh shit, I don't want this to happen again. You're really not, inflicting a lot of damage usually, like just a smack on the ass. It's the fact that they got a smack on the ass, for the shock of the system. But without something, then it doesn't get through their head that what they did is wrong and they need to stop doing it. And if they don't stop doing it, there will be severe repercussions. Excuse me, I need to heal up a bit. Get bit that off me. Okay. Bitch! God. Stabby little fuck. Alright. I'm quite sure that wasn't level up though. Okay. Now let's see. No, let's do this. Alright. Let's raise the sword. And then the skin. Did I? Okay. Alright, so this is basic style selection thing. But I'm saving separate styles as separate skins. After all, while the Green Ranger's from the same Japanese show as the other Rangers, the White Ranger was a totally different TV show. They're betting on the fact the American fans wouldn't know the difference because they didn't know the first shows anyway. All right, what do we got? Still got a call on precision airstrike. Not even sure that's even happening. On the plus side, I got 3 fighters so far. Okay. Okay, well, let's see. One more of those. Let's just get in there. Yeah, consider that a breaking. You know what I mean? An ending point through. And I'll tell you what, that one card in Cards Against Humanity, where it says you reach the age where barbecue potato chips are better than sex. That's not entirely wrong. These things are addictive. In fact, you could probably come up with one little jokey list. Why barbecue potato chips are better than sex. It's like, they're there. You just pop them and put it. You know what you're getting right there. You don't have to worry about any prep time or. Are they ready for you? Look at these guys back here. These ladies all dressed in Britain, the walkers. This one's a combination of sour cream and onion, barbecue, salt and vinegar. Normally, if I saw salt and vinegar, I'd avoid it, but it kind of got sprung on me. So, with all the other stuff on it, it bounces out, so the vinegar's not quite so bad. Normally, I'd avoid vinegar like the plague. I tried salt and vinegar chips in salt and vinegar crisp in Britain. And let's see, what's the big deal about that? No, not happening. Jump you. Okay. Who's that? That's shotgun. What's that? Okay. Okay. So just in need of a rifle of some sort. Nothing, lots of stuff down here. But it is a ways from everything else. And you will be left hanging if you hang out too long. So, I think we're just going to skip this stuff down here. Up and down. Okay. No ammo can behind. And what is this? No, I've already got a purple one. Okay, hold on there. Let me get out of the storm circle first. Of course, right into a fucking firefight. Oh, that was useful. I don't know what happened there, but I'll take it. Get to relative safety first. All right. Okay, contestant, state your name for the audience here.
Hey, Tash, how you been?
Okay. Ah, got visitors.
Haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, I am. Oh, crap. What the hell just happened? There we go. So I have that, but all right. I need to go this way. All right. All right. So what brings you to this neck of the woods here?
Okay. Well, I saw you post a link on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't talked to you in how many months has it been now?
I have no idea. No.
It's been a while.
Couldn't begin to tell you.
Yeah, I'm just awake here, downloading games onto the 30S I modded, and that's about it.
Step down a little bit here, so I gotta. Well, I need to get that out of there. Okay, there we go. And 1 minute, put that up. All right.
So, you seen any good movies or shows lately?
Haven't really been doing much lately, just because it's been kind of nuts. Like,
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay, anything down here?
My work has been absolutely horrendous.
Mm-hmm. I've also been dealing with a problem with rent, and that the way the HUD rules are set up, it's like it looks good. We'll base your rent on 30% of your income. So, okay, well, yeah, but they base the income on the gross, not what you actually get paid.
Right.
So right off the bat, we're a problem because my gross paycheck is about $830. I don't get paid $830. I get paid like $735 to $740. So set the rate at 807. I can't pay the rent in one check. I get spread. It just throws everything off.
Yeah, I just paid my rent today a week late.
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's not so far off. It's just, first this month I was paying August, and it's kind of okay. Hopefully we can take care of September in September.
Yeah, it's been nuts lately, but things are slowly starting to get better.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'll stick with the shotgun again. Whoa! Damn it. That's what I stuck there as it was. All right.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played that game before.
I got a lot of it's like, oh, that's so goofy. Hey, that's kind of the point, okay?
Right?
You get pretty much all the action and stuff with Call of Duty without the grisly realism that gives you PTSD afterwards.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of retro games.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I just loaded up a 128 gig micro SD card. It's almost completely full of 3DS games now that I've.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, I've been going on a spree downloading from the discontinued eShop.
Yeah. But it's like, you get this stuff. It's like all those little goofy items you can throw in here. It's like Master Chief from Halo. There's collabs in there. They're fun. And the Marvel's now regular part of it because they got so much Marvel stuff that's cool. It's like, okay, we'll just rotate it around, just maintain the Marvel section. You know, all my original skins here, but about this clown. But Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, I heard they put Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty. It didn't work very well. Here, it's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, that like I could see it in this, but not in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
That
I know.
makes no
It didn't
sense.
work, and whether it's here though, it's like one of the best sellers they put them out. Because this is goofy enough that I'm just waiting to get some team up somebody and start doing doing a stream with the voices.
See, I could see something like that also happening in just like a stupid racing game, like one of those Mario Kart type games. I could see that happening. Like a game of Fortnite or like a kart racing game. Hell, I was playing that Beavis and Butthead game on what was it, Genesis the other day?
Yeah, I got a couple of Beavis and Butthead games. One was I was supposed to going to college, and I never could finish it. But another one is miniature golf game. That one is weird.
Nice.
Power Rangers. This was a big thing in the back. That's what you pretty much have to get the entire lot.
Yeah. Speaking of Power Rangers, I just bought the entire series, at least what's available to buy on a DVD.
But I was never a big fan of the show.
I've been getting my niece and nephew hooked on it.
Okay.
They love it. So like it's partly because I want to like live my childhood, and it's also part I get to bond with them when they visit. So we're on season 3 now.
Yeah. But sometimes it's worth it just to see the teaser trailers for when something's coming out, because this almost like Starship Troopers, all the bugs all around, but then and then the Power Rangers, and suddenly it's now a live action film. It's turned into an episode of Power Rangers.
Yeah,
like you guys running in suits, and it was ridiculous. And let's see, watch up in the corner here, because unfortunately, click on this. Show the trailer for that's something. You can put sneakers on your characters. And they finally got Converse Chuck Taylors.
Where is it?
But there's a. But up in here, it's no. You check how close I am on it. But yeah, little trailer. Master Chief comes out. The whole trailer's like, a fish stick comes in and get the soda and see, there's Master Chief in the freezer. It just comes out and half the thing is, what are they going to put fish stick through next?
I had no idea.
the derpy little skin is like the that's like with the current season with the bugs. And a big thing. It was like seeing that of Starship Troopers, where they're recruiting to go fight the bug. And it's like, oh, great. And the next thing he's in battle, it's hiding behind a rock.
Yeah,
blowing up around him. When he finally does, start shooting at a guy, it was a little, and starts blowing away. It's a little weird. What have I got here? I still got to players above. I still got to figure out one, to get the precision airstrike is pain enough as it is, but then do it on bugs. So because usually when you get it, you're nowhere near a nest. So
right.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it, because I've already been at it for a couple hours. And I generally don't like going the streams longer than that, because Part of playing to the rerun crowd.
That's understandable.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I just thought I'd come in and say hi because I just saw the link now. And I wanted to say, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, not a problem. People drop anything. I do this for interaction. Okay, I don't just do it to monologue. I can do that just to produce a video.
Right. I don't get many interactions with people these days, especially after everything went down with my ex. God damn, that was insane.
Ooh.
Anyways, I hope you have a good night.
Alrighty.
You take care of yourself,
Have
right?
fun. All right. Okay, and with that, I think we will pretty much wrap it up here. So, yeah, that will start working. I got a few things I got to work on. One, but making this year's version of the case for conservative Trekkies is, with calling out specific personnel. You don't know what a conservative is, do you? Well, here's one right in front of you. Listen up. Because of recent events, they'll make it like let's clarify a few terms here. The next time you want to call somebody a Nazi, I'm gonna go through what is a fascist? Let's define our terms a little clearer, because it's like Princess Bride. You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.